What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to bring you an NFL discussion video on the Los Angeles Chargers and why they need to upgrade their receiving room this offseason. Let's get into it, guys. So, this is kind of a reaction to the Texans' playoff loss. Well, the Chargers' playoff loss to the Texans today. They got blown out. And it's not really a game recap, just a overall outlook of the team, honestly. And, as we all know, Herbert didn't play well today. 4 interceptions, 1 touchdown. If you want to be real, if you watch the game, he had 3 really that dropped by Will Dillisley right into the hands of whoever it was for the Ravens. That wasn't really Herbert's fault, but other than that, the other 3 were his fault. Excuse me. He tried the best, one of the best cornerbacks in NFL today, in Derek Stingley. He got picked off twice, and he also tried his partner, Kamar Lassiter, had a heck of a rookie season on the other side, and they tried him once and got burnt for it too. So I know Herbert has to play better. I understand that, but he needs better receivers also. Lad McConkey, clearly best receiver on that team all year, not even close. Palmer struggled to stay healthy, for the most part. Quentin Johnston had his moments, but we definitely know from now on he is not the guy to be receiver 2 unless an injury happens. Clearly, he's not the guy. So I thought early on in the season he could be that guy, but no, his hands are just trash. So I'm not. If I'm a Chargers fan, I wouldn't want to be done with him. He's still talented, still has room to grow, and still can be a pretty good player. But I will move him down to receiver 3 spot, and he'll probably just stay there. You have to get a veteran wide receiver to pair with Lad McConkey, not a rookie. I know some Chargers fan might want Luther Burton or something like that, or McMillan. You need to get a veteran receiver 1 to help this team out, in my opinion. And I have some guys for you today. So let's get into it. First off, Devonte Adams, clearly. Currently with the New York Jets. I think a year or 2 left on his contract. We know Aaron Rodgers, his future is up in the air if he stays or if he goes. But if he goes, I don't think this time I don't think this time Devonte Adams follows. I think he goes somewhere else, opposite of Rodgers. And a lot of teams make sense. The Chargers, Commanders, Steelers, the list goes on. But the Chargers are definitely a valuable spot for him. Perfect fit for that Chargers and Grant Roman offense. It just depends on where he wants to go if he does leave the New York Jets. Next up on the list, his partner, Garrett Wilson. His Robin to his Batman. I did a video on Garrett Wilson a couple weeks back when the rumors were starting swirling on him being traded. I think it's possible. We'll see what the offseason holds, a long offseason, so we'll see. But if he is traded, Commanders are high on my list. I did a video on that. But the Chargers, too, that does make sense. Not the veteran I was saying. He's been in the league for, going on 3 years. But he is talented, super super shifty. Him paired with Lad McConkey, with Herbert, is super duper dangerous. So I wouldn't mind seeing that there. A sneaky guy on this list, probably the biggest guy on this list, is DK Metcalf. Now, I've said this for a couple weeks now, a couple years now, and Seahawks fans have told me off, but it's looking like it could be happening. DK Metcalf could be traded this offseason, going into the last year of his contract. The Seahawks are in a weird spot. I've been saying this for a couple years now. Geno Smith going to his last year, getting older, 30s plus now, 32, 33 now. Plays inconsistent. He's fun to watch. He's a heck of a gunslinger, fun to watch. But their Seahawks offense is definitely weird, and they're in a weird spot. Does Smith and Jigba be receiver 1? But he's not. But he's mainly a slot guy. Tyler Lockett been there for a while. Did they upgrade from him? DK's been kind of healthy, kind of injury prone as well, and not playing consistent. So I could see the Seahawks moving on from DK Metcalf and just trying to go to a quick retool / rebuild. So DK to the Chargers could be a sneaky major trade happening this offseason. Another guy as well on this list, kind of a hothead, super young, but ultra talented, is George Pickens, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We see his frustrations with the Steelers offense and with Russell Wilson. It does make sense. He got to calm down, though. But it does make sense. And the Steelers are in for another long year next year, maybe, as far as the quarterback goes, because what do they do? Do they keep Russ? Do they keep Fields? Do they bring in Kirk Cousins? Do they go with a rookie like Jackson Dart or trade up for? I doubt they trade up for Cam Ward or Shador, but a Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe or I don't know what they do at quarterback. So they're in a weird spot, weird tricky spot. So we'll see where it goes. If they trade for a guy like Derek Carr, which would be crazy, but it's possible. So those are guys on my short list. Going to the free agency route, I don't really love anybody there. There's some wide receiver ones there, but no one that I really would love for the Chargers to really go after. You have Stephon Diggs coming off of a nasty injury, going to be 32 by the time season starts next year. Do you want him? I don't know. That's tough for me to really have him go there and really trust him. You have T. Higgins, probably going to be a soon-to-be free agent. Do you have enough money? They have the money to get him though. I think the Chargers have around 70 plus 80 million to spend, but you have more holes as well. You need some defensive attention. Do you bring back Asante Samuel Jr.? So we'll see there if they want to pay a guy like T. Higgins. Keenan Allen could return. The rumor on him is that he wants to either go to Chicago or go back to the Chargers. Going to be 33 years old. Receiver one, I think those days are probably gone, but he still can be serviceable. But I don't see him returning to the Chargers. If he does, he would probably take over receiver 3 spot and bump down Johnston to receiver 4 or something like that. Chris Godwin coming off a nasty injury, 29 years old. I'll say no. If he was healthy, then probably. But coming off that injury, I think an Achilles, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'll stay away from him. Amari Cooper, no. For me personally, Brandon Cooks, no. Deontay Johnson had a rough year, traded twice, or traded once and let go twice, once or whatever it was. Had a weird year for a good player, but no, I wouldn't trust him to be my receiver one. So, and the list goes on. Hopkins, Robert Woods, he's old, no. Mike Williams, Marquise Hollywood Brown, interesting. It's an interesting pick. That's interesting. Hollywood Brown from the Chiefs, going to be 28 years old. He's on a 1-year prove-it deal, kind of sort of with Kansas City Chiefs. Do they run it back with him? Maybe so. But if they don't, he's an interesting pick. Not the big body guy I would have on his list, like a Pickens, Adams. He fits the mold of a Lad McConkey, like a Garrett Wilson. Not the same type of player, but smaller receiver, one-ish, high-end receiver, two-style guys. So Hollywood Brown, if you want to go that route, I'm not mad at it. A little bit inconsistent with the Ravens. That's a tricky one. I don't know. Hollywood Brown, I would kind of look into if I'm the Chargers, but I would probably lean towards a more bigger physical body type guy like a DK, Pickens, and Adams. But like I said, if you want Wilson and don't mind getting Garrett Wilson, I wouldn't mind taking a flyer, a 1 or 2 year deal for Hollywood Brown. But like I said, the list goes on, man. Darius Slayton, Osborne, Robinson. I don't really see anybody else outside of Hollywood Brown, and he's an outlier that I would really consider to be a receiver one-ish type of guy or a 1A to 1B with Lad McConkey. I don't see it. So, and like I said, going to the draft, it doesn't make sense going super duper young. If you were to go to the draft, let's say they get a McMillan from Arizona. You have McMillan a receiver 2, I guess, Lad receiver 1, and then Johnson receiver 3. Is not going to cut it to me. McMillan, he could struggle. He doesn't really have a lot of separation, more of a jump ball catcher. We'll see if he plays well his first season. Marvin Harrison Jr. had some decent numbers, had some good moments, and they're not the same guy. But Harrison Jr. is a big physical guy who wasn't as fast, wasn't as quick either, and kind of had his moments where he kind of got locked down here and there as well. So I don't know if McMillan has a better year than what Harrison does. And if Harrison was asked to be the Chargers' number 1 wide receiver, it wouldn't really pair well as what we've seen from him right now. So McMillan would kind of scare me. Burton is explosive enough, but he's not big enough for me. He's more he can play outside, but more of a slot guy as well. So it just depends on how you see things, man. But in all be all, man, the long story short of this video, they have to get better at receiver. If they wanted to try Stephon on a 1-year prove-it deal, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't love it either, but I wouldn't hate it. He fits what the Chargers do. But coming off that injury, Does he need another year after that to go back to full strength? That's a big question there I have for Stephon Diggs and Chris Godwin. I don't know if Chris Godwin be ready for the season. We should be ready for next season by training camp. He did get hurt early on during the season, so but we'll see, guys. We'll see what happens with the Chargers. I will still do an overall team outlook. I just want to do this video after their game today, discussing their receiving room because they need help bad, But I understand, as I said, Herbert has to play better, but receiving room has to do better also, But there was some open throws where Herbert just missed. They're a little too high, a little too far, kind of underthrown. So he has to play better for sure, but more weapons is needed in Los Angeles for Herbert. So that's it for video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.